a bold question, one that could define generation. Is Prime Minister Narendra Modi right in calling the activation of reservation historic turning point? And more importantly, will this finally open the doors of parliament to nearly 700 million Indian women? To understand why this is a big movement and it feels so big, you have to go back to the beginning when India became independent in 1947. It did something remarkably progressive. The women were granted the right to vote immediately, unlike the United Kingdom, where women had to fight for decades. Indian women started equal, at least on paper. But that early promise didn't translate into power. In the very first Lok Sabha of 1952, only 24 women made it to the parliament, just 4.4%. And while the country evolved, that number barely did. Through the 1960s, it hovered around 5%, and after the political upheaval, the emergency dropped. It even dropped further to 3.8%. For a nation that prides itself on democracy, women remained largely absent from the room where decisions were made. Over the years, there was a progress, but it was slow, almost hesitant. By the 1980s, the representation rose to 8%, then to 10%, and in the 1990s, and eventually 14.4% in 2019. A steady climb, yes, but nowhere near enough in a country where women make half of the population. And that's where the story takes an unexpected turn, away from the parliament and into India's villages. In 1993, the 73rd Constitutional Amendment reserved 33% of seats in local panchayats for women. It was seen by many as an experiment, but states like Bihar went even further, increasing it to 50%. What followed quietly changed the narrative. Women didn't just occupy seats, they began solving real problems. They focused on water, education, and healthcare. And over the time, the fear that they would merely act as proxies for male relatives began to fade. They weren't placeholders, they were the leaders in their own right. The success at the grassroots level made one thing clear: reservation didn't weaken democracy, it deepened it. And naturally, the question grew louder. If this works in villages, why not in parliament? But at the national level, the journey was anything but smooth. The idea of reserving seats for women in parliament was introduced as early as 1996. What followed was nearly 3 decades of debates, disagreements, and delays. 27 attempts in total, often stalled over issues like caste-based quotas. Then in 2023, something finally shifted. The Nari Shakti Vandan Act was passed unanimously, promising 33% reservation for women in the Lok Sabha and the state assemblies, with a share reserved for SC/ST women. It felt like a breakthrough India had been waiting for. But even breakthrough comes with conditions. The law required a fresh census and delimitation exercise to redraw constituencies, technical steps that ended up delaying its implementation beyond 2024 elections. Once again, the dream was within reach but not quite real. And now the story arrives at its most crucial chapter. In April 2026, Parliament is set to debate how to finally activate this law. The government is considering using 2011 census data to speed up things, potentially expanding Lok Sabha seats to 816 seats with 273 reserved for women by 2029. For Narendra Modi, the delay is a gross injustice that needs urgent correction. But not everyone agrees on the path forward. The opposition has raised some concerns. And the concerns are regarding regional imbalances, the lack of fresh census, the need for OBC sub-quotas, and the importance of transparency. Civil society groups add another layer of debate, asking whether this reform will truly empower grassroots women or simply benefit those who already have access to power. And while India debates, the world offers a mirror. Women today hold 27% of parliamentary seats globally. Countries like Rwanda have crossed 60%, Nordic nations have around 45%, while the United States and China are closer to the global average. India at 14% still lags behind, but stands at the edge of potential leap. Which brings us back to the original question. Is this century-defining move? The answer lies not in just passing the law, but implementing it. Because India has already seen what happens when women are given space in governance. They don't just fill seats, they change priorities. If this reform is executed well, 2019 could mark the moment when Indian women don't just participate in the democracy, they help shape it in its future. And if it doesn't risk becoming just another chapter of a long history of almost there. Because for 700 million women, this isn't just a policy. It's a story still waiting for its ending. For more such videos, follow and download Newspoint.